All right. Rebecca Norrington is first and foremost a student of the universe and its laws. She has a Bachelor of Science degree in psychology, along with decades of education and training on topics from spirituality to human behavior. Her professional journey includes several vocations: happiness specialist, speaker, author, radio and TV host, fitness instructor, and Reiki practitioner. Oh my gosh. Rebecca, are you ready to rock this?
I am ready to rock and roll. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
We are doing it, baby. I love it. I love it. Welcome to Becoming
Come
Your
on.
Impossible Self. I love your energy already. This is going to be an amazing interview. I'm excited.
Let's warn the audience to put the seatbelts on. Okay, let's
Buckle
put
up.
our seatbelts on right
Buckle
now.
up. We're going to be doing some awakening in this interview. I feel it. And that's perfect because today's theme is Awaken Your GPS. So, Rebecca, how do you awaken your greatest possible self?
Ooh, greatest possible self. You know what's interesting? Let me, since I am a happiness specialist, let me just start with one of my favorite quotes. And it's by Abraham, Esther Hicks.
Yes.
And the quote is, "You cannot have a happy ending to an unhappy journey."
Wow.
So it's really about the journey.
Wow.
This future stuff, it's really about the present moment. And that present moment, are you vibrating a vibration and energy of satisfaction? Or are you vibrating an energy of dissatisfaction? This is really pretty simple. And I say it's simple. It's simple to say, but it's hard to practice.
Yes.
So my greatest possible self, I have to say, I don't even know what the hell that means, because let me just say why. I'm writing a second book, and it's called Program for Unhappiness. And I'm really, really high tuned into this programming, these words that I used to think were powerful, or these words that I used to think that were very important. Let me just ask a question. How many out there, my dear audience, your audience, how many people think that words are powerful? Just raise your hand. Everybody? What? You think they're powerful? You know what's so interesting about that?
What?
Is that when I asked that question, 98% of the population, practically everybody, does believe words are powerful. And I said, put your seatbelts on for this, because I'm here to tell you that they're not. I'm here to tell you, learned, we were all programmed. You want to be an angry happiness specialist? I'm angry about this. People being upset because of words, letters put together, and they're letting these words take them to another level of happiness, of sadness, of oh, you criticize me, or you're complimenting me. Words are not powerful. We were definitely taught that they were. But let me share a really quick story. I know you asked the question, but I just got to get this out.
Let's go.
I got to get this out. And the reason, it's so interesting, because I would actually, my day was ruined. Was I always the happiness specialist? Heck no, I was a bee on wheels. It was my way or the highway, very judgmental, very opinionated, all that kind of crap. You didn't want to know me, trust me. And if somebody said to me in the day, you look tired, it would ruin my day. Or whatever words were put together, in a sense, it would actually ruin my day. And when I went on this quest, when I went on this journey, when I went on this search to find happiness, and I use that term happiness, it's the same to me as inner peace. It's the same as being balanced. It's the same as being relaxed. I'm relaxed. I'm at peace. I'm satisfied. I'm happy. Okay. That's the foundation that I want to grow from. That's the foundation where I want to be rooted in that foundation. And when I went on this quest to find this happiness, I'm like everybody else. Look, there's relationships going to make me happy. And you had an earlier interview. You thought money was going to make you happy. Let me tell you something. There's nothing out there that's going to make you feel at peace. The peace comes from within. But let's get back to the words. I was speaking at a seminar about a year and a half ago, And it was in the evening. And, the truth about happiness, the only thing I talk about, because quite frankly, I think it's the most important. I mean, I'm just saying, you have money, you have help, but you're unhappy. What? I can give you a list of people, a list of people that had all the power, all the money, from the Michael Jacksons to the Robin Williams to the Steve Jobs to all these successful people. Mm-hmm. But apparently there's some kind of imbalance going on. I'm just saying. So for me, it starts inside. It starts there. This is the only thing, the only thing that I do. That's it. It's this search for peace. So I was speaking, and it was in the evening, the truth about happiness. And this woman brought her young child, and it was a little girl. She was still in diapers, but she was able to walk around and just a toddler. Now I said, no, why the hell does a mother bring a toddler to a speech in the evening? I mean, I'm going through my head, and the little girl's running up and down the aisles, being a distraction, a big distraction. And what does this happiness specialist do?
Creates happiness in the little girl.
No. She uses that moment. Actually, it was an inspiration to teach about words. So I even have a picture. I don't know if you can see this.
Yeah.
That's me holding a little girl, the little baby, the little brat.
Wow.
And I picked her up and I said, you know what? You're not going to amount to anything. And you're stupid. Wow. And you're ugly. And your parents are losers too. Now, everybody in the audience is looking at me. Right? Yes. And the mother, trust me, the mother wanted.
Oh.
And I put that little girl down, and you know what she did? She kept playing. She went back to being in the moment. She went back to being herself. My words had no effect on this little girl whatsoever. So there is a time that we learn that words are powerful. But I'm here to tell you that if you want to have more peace, it's an unlearning that words are not powerful. Because who's more powerful? Who's more powerful? The person, you're talking about empowerment, these interviews. Is the person that can be insulted, that can be offended, is that person more powerful than the person that cannot be insulted and cannot be offended by any words or any actions?
So what does that take? How do we get there?
Oh, well, I was listening to Kelly earlier, and she's nailed it right on the head. It is a practice. It is a daily practice, and it is a practice of this is what I've gotten out of all my decades of studying. It is a practice of subtracting those things that actually, not subtracting, eliminate those things that actually subtract from your happiness. And then you add things that add to your happiness. In other words, you behave. It's simple. Thinking that words are powerful subtracts from your happiness. So if you have any kind of buttons, or if you have any kind of issues, it's up to you. Your buttons are your responsibilities. Those words these words hurt your feelings. It's impossible.
Well, quick question. What if words are powerful when they empower us, but they're not powerful when they are disempowering?
Words that are power when they empower. Well, see, there are no words that empower me. The universe empowers me. Words are man-made.
Okay.
So there's a big difference between a man-made and a universal.
Yes.
So words, I mean, you can say, gee, Rebecca, what nice hair. And I thank you very much. But I'm not words don't bring me here or there. It's the energy, it's the vibration, it's the connection with the universe that takes me there. Not any words. It's
so right now we have words as a pathway to get there, to get to that vibrational understanding and the ability to shift it, because I am powerful. We start feeling more powerful, yet we don't need the statement, or I am peace, I am relaxation, I am happy. We don't need the words to get to that point. And is the belief the paradigm that we need the words to get there, is that like sabotaging ourselves? Is that like a detriment to us?
Well, let me put everybody at ease. Contrary to the popular belief, I told you to put your seatbelt on. I don't believe in the sabotaging.
Okay.
I don't believe in any blocks. I believe that everybody is experiencing their journey in a perfect fashion. There's no such thing as, I mean, sabotage, that's another man-made, oh, I'm sabotaging. Oh, I have these blocks. I don't have any money. I must be blocking my money. Well, let me tell you something. If you don't have money at this particular time, you're not supposed to. There is a reason for everything. If you don't have health, you're not supposed to. I was listening to Kelly earlier, and she was talking about this, not listening to her intuition and having this horrific health issue. Now, I immediately wanted to ask, what good came out of that health issue? That's how I look at it. That's no problem there. There were a lot of good lessons. There was a lot of places that I'm sure, I can't speak for her, that took her to another level of consciousness. In other words, that experience that she had with the car and then later experiences is a gift. It's looking at everything as a gift, even though our eyes tell us, I'm sorry to yell at you, but even though our eyes tell us there's something else. See, I'm here to stop with the feeling bad because you're not doing anything, because you're not blocking. I'm here to let go of that self-criticism and let's get off of that train. There is nothing you people out there should be doing. That word should. I mean, other than following and taking a step. You know, one of the biggest compliments I received a couple of weeks ago from a man that went to one of my speeches, and he says, you know what, this was a big compliment. And I don't take compliments or criticism, but he says, you know what, Rebecca? He says, I realize that I've been too hard on myself. I've realized that I've been too critical of myself. And that was a gift to me, because that's what I'm trying to say out there. This falling into the same trap that we have to perform, we have to do what everybody else is doing. You talked about success all day. What is the definition of success? Definition of success? My definition is to be able to smile on my deathbed. It has nothing to do with what I've accomplished. It's something to do with how much have I grown? How is my consciousness more conscious? You know, I tell this story about, have you ever been to the World Trade Center before they blew it up?
I didn't. No.
Well, if you've ever been to the top of the World Trade, I've been a few times before it was blown up. Top of the World Trade Center, you can actually go to the top and you look down and you can see planes from the top. You can see small planes traveling, and you can see the Brooklyn Bridge from the top of the World Trade Center. And so can you imagine that view? What I talk about is expanding your perspective, expanding you, being more open, being more fluid, expanding your perspective. Can you imagine your perspective from the top of the World Trade Center as opposed to the lobby?
Oh, man. Oh, man.
So see, that's what I'm talking about, growth. That is what, quote, should be celebrated, personal growth. Titles, money. I mean, I see all the awards, but there's no awards for personal growth, people. But I'm here to give you one. How are you different? You see how angry I get?
I love it. You're
so
passionate, fiery.
How are you different from last week? How are you different from 6 months ago? These are the questions that you ask yourself. What do you practice? How do you grow? Is the same thing pissing you off today as it did a year ago? Then come on now, we got to get on this train to grow. See, that is the gift. Nobody talks about growing. Nobody talks about personal growth, but that is the real gift. And that is what the universe embraces growth. You have a question?
Rebecca, you are stellar and so much fun. I love this.
Well,
So
thank you.
The universe,
Thank you for noticing.
the universe celebrates our growth. Why?
Good question. Wow, that's a good question. Because that is the nature of this world, growth and evolvement. You know, you started the earth with nothing, and it grows and evolves. I mean, that is what this earth world is, growing and evolving and expanding.
Yeah, it's from
universal.
idea or intangible thing, consciousness, right? Raw consciousness, God, source, whatever, to a manifestation and a creation that has a life of its own.
Manifestation, creation, what?
Of the planet. The planet is a manifestation of consciousness, a seed of consciousness in space dust, theoretically, right?
Yes, I get it. And yeah, I get it. What you're talking about. Yes, I'm a little slow sometimes. I'm a little slow on the thing, but yeah, I mean, it's so you know when you really sit in those moments, and don't think that I don't have moments of up and down. Trust me, I'm in a place solitude. I moved to I haven't been here 5.5 months in a place I don't know anyone, no one, absolutely zero. And because I trusted my intuition, and that's why I'm here. I'm living in Oregon now after years, decades of being a California girl. But the universe says, you got to go. And now I'm up here surrounded by trees with, what am I doing here, universe? What am I doing? So don't think that I don't do this and this and this. But the key is do you trust? See, this is something else that adds to peace and balance and adds to your happiness is trust. Trust. Can you blindly trust? Blindly trust without any doubt. And the only reason why I can trust is because the evidence in my life, the evidence of what's happened in my life is all about trust. Now, how many people out there worry? What? What? Now, do you think worrying adds or subtracts from your peace and your happiness?
Subtracts.
Yes. Now, you know, the interesting thing is, do you know how to eliminate all worry? There, you can eliminate all worry.
Wow.
You want to know how?
How?
That'll cost $0.25.
Oh, let's bring it. Let me PayPal you.
Listen, how you eliminate all worry is just by trusting. You can't worry and trust at the same time. You're choosing one or the other. Period.
Wow.
So you practice trust. And how do you practice it? You know what? I'm not going to sit up here and say, oh, I did all this myself. You ask the universe. Universe, when you always ask a how question, you always get an answer. Universe, how do I trust more? How do I practice trusting more? I'm not saying this road is easy. I'm not saying this journey is easy. But I'm telling you that the benefits of letting go. I have a son who lives in New York. I don't know what the kid's doing. Sometimes he calls me, sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he's in another state. I don't know about it. But guess what? I trust that whatever is happening to him is supposed to happen. And whatever is happening to him is for his betterment. With hands down, I don't worry about anything. Anything. Me, him, nobody, the state of the world, no, nothing. So that's something else that subtracts from happiness is worrying. But see, this is an interesting thing. I'm going to give you a gift, all the listeners. How many out there want a free gift?
Yes. Type in gift. Type in gift if you want a gift. Type it in the comments.
Type or don't. Don't type it in. Listen, I'm not attached to what you do or what you don't do. How's that? How's that?
You're not supposed to say that, Rebecca.
Oops. Been exposed to the truth. Because that's another thing. Noticing and caring about what anybody else does or being in anybody else's business is subtracting from your happiness and your peace.
Yeah.
And believe me, I was the biggest nosy body, busybody. I want to know what you're doing, and I want to know why you're doing it. And I'm going to have a comment about it too. And it's not going to be positive. That's who I used to be. Now I do this. Nope, this is their journey. I trust that this is their journey. I trust that everything is in order, and that's it. But let me get back to the gift. So I've been teaching these classes, the truth about happiness, the importance of happiness, for almost 3 years. And moving out of California and Oregon, I haven't been teaching, but trust me, I can do this with my eyes closed. And the first day of class, I always bring a wrapped gift to everyone. And I say, in this gift, in this package, is the answer to all of your problems, to all of your woes, to all of your challenges for the rest of your life. In this little package. You have any idea what it is? I don't know if you guessed before. You ready? I got it right now. I'm going to share it with everybody. You ready?
Ready. Oh.
It's a mirror. Oh, Jesus. Ooh, hair. It's a mirror.
Yes.
You have the power. Nobody has power over you. Nobody has power over your vibration. Nobody has power over your energy. Nobody has power over your mood. Oh, they didn't call me. Oh, they didn't text me. No. You have the power. But see, nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to take responsibility for their emotions, for their actions, for their behaviors. I call it the blame game. Can I read you one thing that I posted a while ago? It's called the blame game that people play. It's not your circumstances. It's not the relationship you do or you don't have. It's not who won the election or the price of gas or the weather. It's not health or the aches and pains of life. It's definitely not money. It's not how you look, and it's not how much you weigh. It's not your children, and it ain't your parents. Your happiness, your inner peace depends on what you practice on a daily basis. You want to feel different in any moment? You can. You look in the mirror, and guess what? You can elevate your consciousness. You can change your perspective. You can grow. You can be different than you were last week, last month, last year. Your growth, your chosen perspective, and your level of consciousness will dictate how much peace and happiness you'll feel in every moment. It has nothing to do with any of those things. But hey, I grew up and I learned to blame everybody else for how I was feeling. Blame game. And that's something that subtracts from your happiness. And if you blame anybody, well, they didn't, and they didn't, and they didn't. That's on you. You see why I don't have any friends?
So what can we do to really step into our responsibility and ownership of our own mirrors and our own, source and our own energy?
What?
I'm
just kidding.
You're a character, Rebecca. I freaking love it.
I am a character. That's right. I am a character. Let me tell you a really quick story. And I've been, when I was younger, I wished for two things. And I don't know, when you blow out the candles and you make a wish, or you throw some money in a pond and you make a wish. I only wished for two things. I wanted to live to my potential. But I didn't know what that meant. I didn't know how it was going to unfold or look, but I said, I want to live to my potential, and I wanted to be happy. Period. Those are the two things I wanted. And so, like anything else, the universe has taken me down this path. And I remember, years and years of searching for happiness. Oh, I'm not happy because I haven't found my purpose. Oh, I'm not happy because I don't have Mr. Right. Oh, I'm not happy because whatever, fill in the blank. But I was determined. I was searching, and searching, and it was a commitment to that search. And so let me share with you that how we have to have our breath, how pretend somebody's smothering you with a pillow and you're breathing in or you're breathing out and you can't breathe and you're fighting to breathe and you're struggling to breathe. You have to want happiness and peace just like you want to have to breathe. If you don't want it that bad, then you're going to get it sometimes not. And I'm not here to say that it's nice and easy and I'm skipping through tulips over here. But what I devote my time to is this peace, wanting this peace that I was born with, this peaceful state. And that's it. Goals, I don't do the goals. I don't do any of that, because let me ask you this. What if my goal, because I had a lot of goals, trust me, New York Times, I'm working on my second book, New York Times best-selling author. Hell yeah. Of course. Why not?
Yes.
That's great. I'm getting chills. Why not? Well, let me tell you something. What if my goals are different than the universe's goal, than the universe has goals for me? What if it's different? Then what? I'm screwed.
Can you be fully visualized and envisioned in your goal and committed and dedicated and like, I'm doing it? Like, how do you balance that and the drive and the creation with the trust and the non-attachment? Like, how do you, is that like you have goals, but you can't go 100% at them? Like, how does that work?
Good question. I don't have any goals. My goals, zero. Kelly said something about being lazy. I'm lazier than anybody on the planet. I have zero goals. I'll tell you my goal is whatever the universe's will has for me.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, whatever, I'm open to whatever you bring me, universe. I am not going to step and try to listen to this one, think that I have control over what is happening. Think that I have control over what manifests or what doesn't manifest. Because if the universe wants me to have something, I'm going to have it. That's no question. And if the universe says, you know what, this isn't really going to serve you, whether I think this is going to serve me, hell yeah. $500 million. Yeah. How's it all? Of course it's going to serve me. Really? So I've given up. What adds to happiness and peace? All encompassing surrender. I have surrendered. There's a big story, and Jesus as a story, as a lot of lessons in that Garden of Gethsemane, and the guy didn't want to die. Who wants to get crucified? Who wants to get stabbed and nailed and humiliated? No, you don't want to die. No, thank you, God. No, thank you. Sorry. Next. But guess what? He surrendered. And so the lesson is surrendering to the will of the universe, surrendering to uncertainty and being okay with uncertainty. That's a big one. I'm okay with uncertainty. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, and I'm okay with that. You mean I can't put my 2 cents in, universe, and plan? Can I help you plan this out, universe? Can I help you plan? Well, no, but what I can do, I act on inspiration. And when I'm inspired, I'm moving, I'm shaking. Yeah. And when I'm not inspired, I'm sitting my ass down and doing nothing.
Wow. That's awesome. I love it. This is so unique. So unique.
Oh, I told you, listen, and I don't have a lot of, let me tell you something. I get a lot of people that agree or don't agree. And this is another thing. I was the best arguer. Oh, I could argue you all the way down to the ground because I was always right.
Yeah.
Always. But now I'm whatever you want to believe. And if you don't believe, if you're not resonating with this, that's okay. Because your journey is unique to you, all of you. And I'm okay with your journey now. And I'm okay with looking at your journey and saying, yeah, it must be what the universe wants. Beepity beep, beepity beep. Oh, that's not a word. Beepity beep.
Yes, yes, and what if it was the universe's will for you to show up and stand in uncomfortability for someone else to see things your way, or see things the quote unquote universe's way, channeling through you?
No, no, the sun shines on the serial killer and the Pope. No, I don't need anybody to believe or think that what I'm saying is the right way at all. I know what feels it's a fit for me. And I think one of your guests said something about it's like a custom fit, what fits for you. And we're as different. I say we are as different as our fingerprints.
Yeah.
And some people can do the meditation, and some people can do the 2 hour to myself. I mean, we're so different. And so it's really about accepting your differences and accepting who you are and knowing who you are. It's really interesting. Who is that 2-year-old again? Who is that person? And not this program person. There's what is it? Myers-Briggs. It's a personality test. Have you heard of that? Myers-Briggs. It's like, yeah, it's over 100 questions. A lot of questions. And I remember maybe 20 years ago taking that test. And I took the test and I got the results, and I was reading the results, and the hell, this isn't me. Who is this? I kept reading and reading. I mean, it took me a long time to answer those questions and to find out that the person that the results is not me. Oh, that person it was my father. I took the test and I answered the questions the same way my father would answer the questions. So it's really a rediscovery of who you are. That's the number one. Who are you? And then the acceptance. We say love yourself. What the hell does that mean? But accept yourself with everything. And to be okay with who you are in this moment. To be satisfied in this moment. Whatever you're doing. See, it's really a world out there of dissatisfaction. People are selling dissatisfaction. Are you dissatisfied? Yeah, I'm dissatisfied. Woo! Let me tell you something. It's a practice of being satisfied in the moment. Is it easy? If you want more happiness, if you want more peace, if that's your commitment, there you go. That's all I want.
So awesome.
I love. Hold on a second. I need a drink.
While you're doing that, one of the things that I thought of is your 2 things that you wanted were, I believe you said it was happiness and to be your best self, right? To show up.
My potential.
Yeah. Achieve your potential. So I like that, I really resonate with the achieve your potential side. I don't know. I think happiness as a human being, that's something that we all strive for. And I'm just curious, like, for me, I found happiness through playing video games and games, playing games and achieving and accomplishing and goal-oriented kind of objective-based things. So I'm curious how, your upbringing and your activities and how your brain and mind got formed into your human body, and how mine got formed playing games and kind of being hardwired or conditioned to, my path. I'm just so fascinated about like what that means about what drives our life, like what our life purpose is, what the universe wants for us. Did the universe place in my history, in my path, playing video games so that I would be this person that seeks certain things that you, because you didn't necessarily play video games or the ones that I played and how I played them, you seek something different. It plays something else in your path to cultivate you into the human being, the consciousness in a flesh bag that has these desires and tendencies and drivers. It's so fascinating. So fascinating.
What? Gotcha again. I put it on your shirt. Look down.
You're so much fun. I love it.
Yeah.
So,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, so as far as peace, like really experiencing this peace, what else can we tap into to have that now? Is there any other thing, like tactical thing, like practice, discipline, letting go, like a moment, like right here, right now, what can we practice or do to really experience that?
Okay, how about this? Let me, because I have a list and I wrote it down of things that will subtract from your happiness. So
Cool.
if everybody wants to go get a pen and pencil, you can write these down, because all of these things are going to subtract from your happiness, from your peace. And you can, after I go through the list, you can, we can go back on it and then you can ask questions. But this is just simple stuff. I'm a simple girl.
Sweet.
Plus, minus. So these are all the things that there are common behaviors that subtract from happiness, subtract from peace. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Living in the future, preferences, judgments, taking anything personally, thinking that anything is important. Attachments. All attachments subtract from happiness. Attachments to an outcome. Thinking anything is serious. Complaining. Resisting what is. Living in the past. Comparing yourself with any other person subtracts. You know how that feels.
Mm-hmm.
Expectations. All expectations subtract from your happiness and from your peace. If you want to eliminate disappointment and heartbreak forever, eliminate your expectations. Zero expectations. Even though we're doing this show, even though I'm scheduled at 1 o'clock Pacific time, I have no expectations of being on. I did my hair, put some makeup on, put a lipstick on. But what if we had some kind of glitch? What if there was some kind of, social media bonfire? Who knows? So there's no expectations. Even if I have a ticket to get on a plane, I'm not expecting to get on that plane unless I'm on the plane. Wow. So, because what if I have a feeling, just like Kelly said of the intuition, not getting on this plane. So eliminate all expectations. That's a real hard one. Labels. All labels subtract from happiness. Good. This is good. This is bad. Let me find this really good. This is one of my favorite things that I wrote. Of course. Sorry. What you believe, you will experience. When you think something is great, you'll get to experience that. When you think something is terrible, you get to experience that. So you're living out your interpretation of events, not life itself. So the labeling thing. So what do I say about this life? This life is an experience without judgment. That's it. That's all life is. It's an experience without judgment. Once you start putting all judgments subtract from happiness. Once you start putting a judgment on, this is good or this is bad, you're subtracting. Subtract. Giving power to words subtracts. Worrying subtracts. Being critical of yourself or others subtracts. We talked about blaming before. Blaming anybody or anything, any circumstance for how you're feeling. And the last one, which is actually a virus. It is it's a cancer. Control. Thinking that you have control over what happens. Thinking that what you're doing is I know I'm making this happen. Blah! I'm telling you right now, I've lived too long. I don't have control over this fill in the blank. I don't have control over it, but I do have control over choosing my perspective, how I want to look at it, whether it's a lesson, whether it's a gift. I don't care how bad it looks. I have control over my perspective. I have control over my vibration, my energy. I have control over what I'm going to say. I have control over how I'm going to say it. Talking about power. That's power. One of your guests said reacting as opposed to
responding.
Responding. Yeah. That's right. This is the word I react. Somebody runs over your foot, you're reacting. No. It's really a conscious responding. So those are some of the things that subtract from happiness. Let me share with you some of the things that will add to your happiness, just like anything else, like the best basketball player, the best opera singer, the best doctor, the best writer, the best speaker. takes practice. The best coach takes practice. So I'm talking about practicing these things. Like anything else, it's a skill. So you live consciously. You're living consciously, meaning that you are aware in every moment. It is so exhausting. I mean, being conscious all the time, I'm telling you, it drains the heck. That's why I'm here. I can't be conscious out in the world all the time. I'm exhausted. So I have to run home, fuel up, and then go back out to the world. Because I know what I'm saying. I know what I'm doing. And I know the kind of energy I'm giving out in every moment. I'm not a robot. Beep. Okay, so living consciously, surrendering. We talked about that's just surrendering. That's a really hard one. The people that have a problem with, and when I say problem, the people that have this need to control have a really difficult time surrendering. Really difficult time. So if you're, and let me come back, let me just tell you a really quick story about the surrender. This is one of my favorite analogies. So you're in a car. What would be your dream car, Chris? What would be your dream car?
Dream car is an Audi A7.
Ooh, does it have a back seat?
Yes.
Okay, so you're in the back seat. What color is it?
It's going to be matte purple.
Yeah, purple. I love purple. It's my favorite color. Thank you, Prince. Matte purple. Okay, so you're in your dream car. You're in the back seat. Who's driving?
My chauffeur.
And your chauffeur is
who?
That's your question.
My chauffeur.
You need help?
Yes, I need help.
Let me see. I'll help you on the next interview. That's part 2. No, your driver is the universe. The universe is driving.
Yeah.
So this thing about no universe, I'm going to grab the wheel and we're going to make a right turn here. No universe, we're going to make a left turn here. So that's the resistance, right? The resistance that you feel. So we all know what resistance feels like. And that's surrendering to the driver. And your job is to enjoy the ride. All of it. To enjoy the ride.
Love it.
See? But okay, so let me go back to what adds to happiness. So surrendering. And then allowing, meaning that you just allow things to unfold. You're sitting in the back seat, you're looking at all of you, and you're just allowing yourself, and acceptance. That's another one, acceptance. Being acceptance, meaning acceptance of the present moment, acceptance of the past moments, acceptance of self. And the only reason why we can't accept the moments is because, or other people, is because we can't accept ourselves. I told you, you got this mirror right here. See, acceptance of self is key. And so how can I accept myself? How do I accept? And see, nothing has to change in your life. You don't have to get the job. You don't have to get the money. Nothing has to change, but the acceptance. Do you accept this moment as being the best moment ever? Yes. I don't care what's happening.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. Yes. Now you got to do that for the rest of your life.
Right. Right. Yes.
Okay? That's the kick.
Yes.
Okay. So, and then I said, stay out of everybody's business. I'm telling you, that's a big one. Staying out of people's business. Your guest earlier talked about making a comment, and no, that's, I got to mind my own business. I'm telling you, when I'm in anybody else's business, I am miserable because I'm making judgments, and judgments subtract. And they're doing it wrong, and finding fault with what anybody else is doing. You're really finding fault with self. Sorry, you see why I don't have any friends. You're really finding fault with self. Let it go, let it flow. Choose your perspective. Choosing your perspective is huge. I say there are 300, I don't say that, but there are 360 degrees in a circle. And so I contend that there are 360 ways you can look at any situation. But who practices changing your perspective in the moment? Who practices that? It's a practice. It's a practice. If this doesn't feel good to you, if something's not looking good or feeling good, guess what? Change your perspective. Period. Yeah. Preferences. Oh no. Choose your focus. Choose your focus. Stay out of other people's. I said that already. And then choose your focus. What are you going to focus on? You know, a really good friend of mine, she lost her husband, and he was, you know, they were married maybe 60 years, and she had, you know, grown children, and she kept talking about the loss of her husband, and she was really having a hard time with it. And I said, you know, you're focusing on the loss. You look at a stained glass window and there's maybe one small spot, one little black spot, the Sistine Chapel, one little crack. Yep. So what are you focusing on? That crack? Yeah. But it's a practice. It's a practice.
Wow. This is beautiful.
And let me share. Well, we got to go. No,
I wanted to comment. You could share in a second, but one of the things that stood out the most to me is the question, how do I accept myself? Like, how do I fully accept and embrace myself, like, exactly as I am? You know, like that one really hit home for me. I appreciate your energy behind it and just bringing it up in this conversation. So powerful for a lot of people who are struggling with the I'm not enough conversation. Like, how do I accept? You know, how do I accept myself?
I got chills when you even said that. And let me tell you something. See, that's another thing. You were taught to not accept self. See, the little baby that I showed you, a little toddler, she was all accepting of whatever she did. And so know that it's a programming, and know that there are two voices in your head. We talked about it earlier about the ego versus the universal voice. And that ego, again, no hating on the ego. I mean, listen, if it wasn't for ego, I wouldn't have had lipstick on today. But the ego has one job. This is what I've come up with. And that job is to make me feel bad about myself for as long as possible, for as many moments in the day as possible. So know what voice that you're listening to, and know that ego has a job to do. And the ego's going to keep ramping it up, especially if it doesn't get attention. Yeah. Especially if you don't feed it. I mean, but no, and especially if you feed it, it's gonna, you know, bigger and bigger. So it's really about starving the ego. And what I like to do, I like to keep it light. As angry as I am about this happiness stuff, I like to keep it light. So that's a joke. So I visualize my ego on a stage, and it's just telling me all the things I'm doing wrong and all the things I'm lazy, haven't been productive, and you know, on and on of what I'm not doing, but I'm a witness to it. It's not my identity, and it's really about stepping out and witnessing the ego and being
the
voice.
observer.
Being the observer, yes. Yeah. I wanted to share this one before we wrap up because I know we're coming close. But this one thing about death, because I know, you know, happiness specialists in death, but I want to share this with people because this death thing, you know, it's serious. It's important. This is one speck of a lifetime. Energy does not die. It can't be destroyed, and it doesn't die. And so this picture right here, you see that? Yeah. That's me and my son. 1 hour after I buried my father. 1 hour. And I'm sharing that with all you parents out there because it's up to us to, well, listen, whatever, you do what you want to do. It was up to me to give my son a different choice of how to respond, not the program. Oh my God, my mother's gone. Oh God. Listen, he's going to grieve any way he wants to, but I'm telling you, there's a different choice. There are different ways. Really be mindful. Is this a program thought or is it universal? And with the universe, you know that there is no time. It's an illusion that we all, you know, energy doesn't die. So that's what I want to leave you with. It's just powerful. You have the choice if you are committed to feel differently in any moment.
The end. The beginning, baby. The beginning. I love it. I love it. Rebecca, you're freaking stellar. Oh my gosh. Beautiful interview. So much fun. So just diverse and off the wall and fun. I thought it was really, really
off
fun.
the wall. That's right.
Off
Who wants to be
wall,
on the
yes.
wall?
I love it. So, Rebecca, how do people stay connected with you, and what do you want them to do next?
Oh, well, listen, you can email me at info@RebeccaNorrington.com. And also I have a Sunday show on Blog Talk Radio. I answer questions. It's called Ask Rebecca Anything every Sunday, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Blog Talk Radio. You can just search Rebecca Norrington. My website is RebeccaNorrington.com. You can follow me on Twitter at RL Norrington. And my Facebook is Reality Spirituality. I also have Instagram. I think it's Reality Spirituality. But let me tell you something, all you people out there with the social media stuff. If I'm inspired to tweet and say something and post, I do. And if I'm not, I don't. So I can't get into, I'm lazy. I can't get into the regular every day. And I know that's what the world likes every day, but I'm just being me. So that said, oh, and my first book, Reality Spirituality, The Truth About Happiness, can be found on Amazon and or lulu.com. That's LULU.com. And my next book that I'm writing, but haven't finished, is called Program for Unhappiness. And it is a programming. And I'm talking about there's no such thing as being offended. That's your fault. Getting your feelings hurt. That's your fault. Oh, don't get me started. No friends.
Rebecca, I freaking love you. You're awesome. You are a pleasure and just a treat, a delight. You're amazing. Thank you so much for coming on. Everyone, stay connected with Rebecca. Simply, if you just want to see what the heck happens in her future, because she is a star, like a stellar star, who is just it's just so, the future is wide open, and especially because of the context of the universe is sourcing you, is your rocket fuel, and the universe is infinite possibilities. So your possibilities, since you're tapped into that fuel source, are infinite.
And I did want to say that I am available for speaking engagements also. I love to speak, and I'm, come on, I'm an entertainer as well as a speaker. Let's have some fun with this stuff. Let's have some fun.
Yes, we are definitely having more fun, Rebecca. We appreciate you, and thank you for coming on, and we will see you very, very soon, okay?
Thank you so much for having me, Chris. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. I appreciate you. We'll see you soon.